Ratio, proportion, and percentage. Ratio, proportion, and percentage are important and related to both career and daily life, such as comparison between two quantities or commercial business. We use this knowledge for calculation of many things. For example, food recipes, mixing of chemical fertilizer, price calculation, discount, tax calculation, and design. Ratio. Definition of ratio. Ratio is a relationship between two quantities of the same or different of unit. Ratio of A to B can be expressed as A semicolon B or A over B, whereas B does not equal 0. We call A is a numerator or antecedent. B is a denominator or consequent. For example, 1. Density of Thai population, 122 per 1 kilometer squared. So the ratio of Thai population per area, kilometer squared, is 122 semicolon 1. 2. Currency exchange rate is 10 baht to 5,000 dong. Therefore, ratio of baht to dong is equal to 10 semicolon 5,000. 3. Buy 3 boxes of snacks for 100 baht. Therefore, ratio of price to snack is equal to 100 baht semicolon 3 boxes. Properties of ratio. Equalization of two ratios can be solved by following methods. 1. Multiplication. A semicolon B equals Ka semicolon Kb, whereas K is a constant, which B and K do not equal 0, or can be written in simple as A over B equals Ka over Kb. 2. Division. A semicolon B equals A over K semicolon B over K, whereas K is a constant, which B and K do not equal 0, or can be written in simple as A over B equals A divided by K over B divided by K. Example, find 3 equivalent ratios of the given ratio 12 semicolon 36. Solution, 12 semicolon 36 equals 12 times 2 over 36 times 2 equals 24 over 72 equals 24 semicolon 72. 12 semicolon 36 equals 12 times 10 over 36 times 10 equals 120 over 360 equals 120 semicolon 360. 12 semicolon 36 equals 12 divided by 12 over 36 divided by 12 equals 1/3, or equals 1 semicolon 3. Reduction of ratio to the simplest form or lowest form. Example, find the simplest form of the given ratio. 1. 24 semicolon 40. 2. 169 semicolon 52. Solution. Number 1. 24 semicolon 40 or 24 over 40 equals 24 divided by 8 over 40 divided by 8 equals 3/5. Then 24 semicolon 40 equals 3 semicolon 5. 2. 169 semicolon 52 or 169 over 52 equals 169 divided by 13 over 52 divided by 13 equals 13 over 4. Then 169 semicolon 52 equals 13 semicolon 4. Verification of two equivalent ratios by cross multiplication. We can verify whether ratio A semicolon B and ratio C semicolon D are equivalent by cross multiply A over B and C over D. Consider the product of A times D and B times C respect the following principles. 1. If A times D equals B times C, then A over B equals C over D. Or if A over B equals C over D, then A times D equals B times C. 2. If A times D does not equal B times C, then A over B does not equal C over D. Or if A over B does not equal C over D, then A times D does not equal B times C. Example, verify the equivalences of the given ratios. 1. 8 semicolon 15 and 72 semicolon 135. 2. 3 semicolon 7 and 21 semicolon 35. Solution 1. 8 semicolon 15 or 8 over 15 and 72 semicolon 135 or 72 over 135. From cross multiplication, we get 8 times 35 equals 1080. 15 times 72 equals 1080. Then 8 times 135 equals 15 times 72. So 8 semicolon 15 equals 72 semicolon 135. 2. 3 semicolon 7 or 3 over 7 and 21 semicolon 35 or 21 over 35. From cross multiplication, we get 3 times 35 equals 105. 7 times 21 equals 147. Then 3 times 35 does not equal 7 times 21. So 3 semicolon 7 does not equal 21 semicolon 35. Vocabulary: ratio, proportion, numerator or antecedent, denominator or consequent, therefore, property, multiply, multiplication, divide, division. Multiple term ratios. Principle of multiple term ratios. We can separate three terms: ratio of A semicolon B semicolon C into two terms ratios as follows: A semicolon B and B semicolon C, which can be expressed by the following procedure. Example: find the continuous ratio of the given ratios. A semicolon B equals 3 semicolon 5 and B semicolon C equals 5 semicolon 6. Solution from A semicolon B equals 3 semicolon 5. B semicolon C equals 5 semicolon 6. From the problem, we can see that both ratio have B as the middle term and equal in both A semicolon B or B semicolon C. So, A semicolon B semicolon C equals 3 semicolon 5 semicolon 6. Example: given that A semicolon B equals 3 semicolon 7 and B semicolon C equals 5 semicolon 6, find the ratio of A semicolon B semicolon C. Solution from A semicolon B equals 3 semicolon 7. B semicolon C equals 5 semicolon 6. From the problem, we can see that both ratios have B as the middle term but have different value. Therefore, we have to equalize B in both ratio by equivalent ratio principle. We get A semicolon B equals 3 times 5 semicolon 7 times 5 equals 15 semicolon 35. And B semicolon C equals 5 times 7 semicolon 6 times 7 equals 35 semicolon 42. So A semicolon B semicolon C equals 15 semicolon 35 semicolon 42. Uses of ratio in occupation. We can apply knowledge of ratio for works and daily lives in various ways, such as construction design, animal feed mixing, and pricing. Example: In designing, we defined ratio of 1 semicolon 200. If the requirement of lower floor of building is 30 meters in width, 50 meters length, and 8 meters height, find width, length, and height in the blueprint. Solution. Ratio of plan 1 semicolon 200 means if the actual size of building is 200 centimeters, the size of building in the blueprint is 1 centimeter. If the actual width is 300 times 100 centimeters equals 3,000 centimeters, or 1 times 15 semicolon 200 times 15 equals 15 semicolon 3,000. Therefore, the width in blueprint is 15 centimeters. If the actual length is 500 times 100 centimeters equals 5,000 centimeters, or 1 times 25 semicolon 200 times 25 equals 25 semicolon 5,000. Therefore, the length in blueprint is 25 centimeters. If the actual height is 8 times 100 centimeters equals 800 centimeter semicolon, or 1 times 4 semicolon 200 times 4 equals 4 semicolon 800. Therefore, the height in blueprint is 4 centimeters. So, the sizes of building in blueprint are 15 centimeters in width, 25 centimeter in length, and 4 centimeter in height. Example, payment ratio of A, B, and C is 2 semicolon 1 semicolon 3. If A receives payment of 360 baht, find B and C. Solution. Payment ratio of A, B, and C is 2 semicolon 1 semicolon 3 semicolon. If A receives payment of 360 baht, 2 semicolon 1 semicolon 3 equals 2 times 180 semicolon 1 times 180 semicolon 3 times 180 equals 360 semicolon 180 semicolon 540. Payment ratio of A, B, and C is 2 semicolon 1 semicolon 3 semicolon. So B receives payment of 180 baht and C receives payment of 540 baht. Vocabulary: whereas, constant, equivalent, reduction, verification, express.